Hey, welcome back to Hobbies with Jose, and today we've got part 2 of our customization and repaint of Siege Megatron. Let's go! Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's great to have you back. Now today we are going to start adding some color onto Megatron right after we prime him up, but before we do that, we're going to mask certain sections of the figure that we don't want any paint to get on, mainly joints, so that we can prevent them from getting overly tight. But first, let me show you a last little bit of modification that I made to the fusion cannon. So one of the things I didn't quite notice when I was disassembling the figure is that it had a front section, not really missing, but it had a hole molded into the front of the fusion cannon. And I'm guessing it had that to accommodate what becomes the front of the tank turret to insert into the front. But because the hole is facing forward when in bot mode, I decided to fill it in. And I did sand it down quite a bit, so we'll see how it looks after some paint. And lastly, the peg that was on top of the fusion cannon, I went ahead and cut that one off too. It does connect to the other arm in tank mode, but I should still be able to transform it. It's just not going to be as solid of a piece. Alright, but with all that said, let's go ahead and start masking some pieces and get ready for primer. So I'm done masking the pieces, and at this point I'm going to start adding them onto alligator clips. Now the primer that I'm going to be using today is a little different. I'm going to try out Alclad 2 Lacquer Primer. I've heard some good things about it, so we're going to give it a shot. And as for the colors themselves, we're going to go with Rust-Oleum Metallic Silver. Now the cap on this isn't really a silver, but it's more of a chrome plated, which kind of concerned me a little bit. But I did a little bit of a test spray on a spare sprue that I had, and I do like the texture of the silver that came out, so that should work really good. And as for the black, we're going to go with Rust-Oleum Semi-Gloss Black. This should work good for all of the black pieces. And since there's not a whole lot of red, I'll be using Tamiya's acrylic paint, regular red in X7. I may apply this by hand or mask out the pieces and spray paint it on. I'm not entirely sure yet, but we have time to think about that. What we're going to do first is start the priming process. So we now have most of our pieces coated with the first layer of paint. And at first, I'll be honest, that first layer of silver while it was still wet did seem pretty chromy and shinier than what I anticipated, but now that it's actually dried, it does have that textured look to it, which I really do like. I'll definitely go back with the semi-gloss black and add an extra coat. There's some pieces that go on the inside of Megatron's leg that I'm going to mask around to paint red, and then other parts go in semi-gloss black, so I'll keep working on that. But we'll continue next week and I'll start adding some more details onto our piece. Hopefully you can all join me for that, and if you like what you saw, you know what to do. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Take care, everyone.